But your first role, I remember seeing you in as well, is A League of Their Own, right?
That's
In A League
right.
of Their Own.
Yeah.
Have your kids seen it?
Well, you know what's funny? My kids have no interest in my career in any capacity.
Welcome.
And never have.
Yeah.
Yes, you understand.
Yeah.
So I, like you, when I started my show, had a little toddler running around.
Yeah.
And, you know, they never saw anything. I took them to see Tarzan when I was Turk.
Yes.
I was the monkey in that. And so my son is sitting there. He's 4, and the other baby is 2, Chelsea. And in the middle of the movie, there's a quiet part, and he stands on his chair. He goes, "That monkey's my mama!" You know, in front of the whole thing. And I was like, yes, I didn't know you would get that. But my son, who's 23, Blakey, who is he's just such a mush, this kid. He comes home from a party. He goes, "Mom, you're not going to believe this." I said, "What happened?" He said, "John had on some movie, and you were like a teenager playing baseball, and you sounded like Sylvester Stallone." I go, "Blakey, that's my most famous movie. That's how I became an entertainer, because of that movie." And he said, "Yeah, I never saw it, but it was weird seeing you that young." You know?
Oh my God, it is weird. I never really thought about that, about
Yeah.
our kids looking back, like especially, there's so many YouTube videos and so many clips to look at.
Right, and they're so old now. My kids go from 27, 25, 23, 19, and 9. I have a 9-year-old. I adopted at 50. I thought I could get a facelift or a baby. So I took the baby, you know, kept me young in a different way.
And so how do you think your parenting has changed over the last year? Like from the older ones to the new, you know?
So much. First of all, you know, when you grow up in a, you know, my mom had died and we didn't have that much money, and my dad was, you know, a troubled guy. And so I wanted to provide for my children every kind of thing for childhood that I didn't have. Like, you know, we had those sneakers that were attached in the store so you could never walk.
100%. You had to try them on and like,
you have to do this thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh yeah, they fit good, Mom.
Yeah.
They fit good. You couldn't tell.
You can take the tag off now. Yeah.
Yes, so you know, I wanted to give them everything, my older ones, you know, when I was a young mother in my early 30s. And I come to find out now, as a 60-year-old mother of a 9-year-old, that making the world so smooth and without a bump for them doesn't serve them at adulthood. It really doesn't. And I was much too much of a lenient mother with my older ones, and much too much in trying to repair my own childhood through mothering them.
Wow.
And now I have a little daughter who has autism. She's 9 years old. And you know, her autism is magical to me, because it forces me sort of to slow down, to take the time to really see the world from another person's perspective. And you have to, because it's like she came with an operating system that my computer didn't understand, you know?
Yeah.
So we had to sort of figure out how to be there for each other and how to make her seen. And I know autism is often a horrific diagnosis for some families and some children. It's just the flavor that I got of this little baby is such a good fit with me. And you know, I always say I go to get her tested every few years, because everybody says to me, "She doesn't have autism." I'm like, "Okay, but she does." They're like, "No, she doesn't. She speaks so well." I'm like, "That's not really."
Well, there's different,
yes,
on the
it's
spectrum.
a spectrum. There's a whole variety of ways. And so when I take her to get tested, I go, "She's mild now, right? Not moderate? She's mild now?" They go, "No, she's moderate. Still gonna be moderate. Gonna be moderate her whole life. It's a brain setup. There's nothing you can do." But, you know, it's a magical, different way of living. It's like an alien dropped from above into my life.
Yeah.
And I've learned to speak the language, and I love it.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'd love you to meet her.
Yeah. Well, our daughters are on the same age.
It would be great.
And this is how my daughter introduces herself to the world, anyone. She walks straight up to a kid on a playground and says, "I'm River. Do you want to be friends?" And literally, there's no requirement. She doesn't require you to do anything. Just you have to exist.
It's so funny.
She loves people. She gets that honestly.
Yeah,
but
she gets that from you, right?
Yeah.
We were at a hotel in the big hotel pool, and I was sitting in the lounge watching her swim, and she swims up to everyone, and all of a sudden I hear this is Rosie O'Donnell, like in the distance, Rosie O'Donnell. And I look, and she's smiling and waving, and with this whole family. And I go, "Come here, what are you doing?" She goes, "Well, I told them that, you know."
My daughter does that.
Okay, so I say to her, "Honey, you don't have to tell everyone I'm your mommy. They're gonna love you for you. You don't have to tell them." She goes, "Mom, it works for me."
She was like, "But my daughter, I told her we were literally in a pool." And then she ends up telling this woman, and I'm at the other end of the pool, and I'm like, "Hi." And she tells them, she's like, "Well, they get excited. It's fun."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay," but I don't want to shame her for it, but I'm like, "Can you stop?"
Yeah.